Test. Hopefully. I don't know. It's recording. So we got sound. He's opening his can. Everybody got a can open? Everybody needs their can open?
Everybody.
Cans are open.
All right. Look at that spike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. All right. How do I begin this? I've been thinking about this all week. I can't really think of how to say it. All right. Motherfuckers.
He's got stage fright now.
Yeah, I was psyched myself out.
That's about a dick move.
That is about a dick move. All right. Here we go. Welcome to this episode of the Chainsaw Bar. I'm your host, Mike,
Hillbilly.
Satan.
with guest host this week from west of us, I guess,
Leah.
and
Madeleine.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's episode of the Chainsaw Bar.
Nice.
Vroom.
Hey, get behind your room. You need to like canned room.
Yeah, I have no canned rum.
No, it's
Yeah,
we're low budget. So.
Yeah. Once I get like a meme soundboard set up, I'll be sure to do
doesn't even
that.
sound like a chainsaw. It sounds like a car.
It
Yeah,
does. It does.
So
It's true. All right, let's begin with the introductions. Our regular guests know what they are and who they are.
sometimes.
Our new guest hosts, or guests, I guess we'll say, we'll start with Madeleine. Let's hear what your top 10 horror movies are, in no particular order or particular order in general. Let's just throw you under the bus and get started.
Oh, thank you. Under the bus.
Oh, the horror.
Oh, the horror. The first two of my list were in a particular order because they're two of my very favorite movies out in any genre. And that's Night of the Living Dead and Psycho.
Okay.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, that's
And then the rest I kind of put in no particular order.
Do you want to go into detail as to why those are your top two?
Why those are my top two? Because
Yeah.
they're just
Yeah,
two of
usually.
my favorite movies.
Like, I mean, is there really a big draw? Like,
What motivated you to
What
think
motivated
those?
me?
What grabs you about those
Yeah.
great films?
And those are great films. Night of the Living Dead is the first horror movie that I ever remember watching that really affected me. Like emotionally, like the politics behind it, the allegory of the film about, its critique on humanity. Also, it's just a beautiful film to watch. I mean, yeah, it's gory and it's not a good show, but
did it terrify you when you first
terrify
seen it?
me?
Yeah, when you first watched it.
No, not in the traditional sense, but it made me think about humanity
Okay.
and who the real monsters are.
That's a good way. Yeah.
And that is kind of terrifying in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So, Psycho, it's just also just a, brilliantly directed film.
Hitchcock classic.
Visually,
It inspired a lot of movies.
visually done. Well, a lot of Hitchcock movies, especially, that was his shtick. I loved the way, even the villain, the monster of the film, Norman Bates, was just so, he had a kind of fragility. He was obviously somebody who had been damaged and then lashed out, and they made me think about villains in general and victims, and like obviously the Janet Leigh's character in the film was a criminal, and she was having an affair with what was her boss.
The bank manager, I believe. Yeah.
And stole all that money. I mean, I didn't look at it as a kind of like, oh, she's getting her reward for all the evil doing that she did. It was just two flawed people under different circumstances put in the same place, and she ended up being the victim. There was a whole lot about like human relationships there. Norman Bates' relationship with his mother, and all that weirdness, and just kind of like the strangeness of the whole movie.
It's good.
It's good
It
take.
was, obviously visually striking.
Yeah.
Mm. Especially in the black and white, that was great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't really. It's hard to pull that off nowadays with a
Yeah.
black and white,
I don't think
like
you can.
pure feel, because
It's
now
hard.
it's all digital.
Mm-hmm.
And
I never
it seems to
watched
pick it up
the
too much.
colors. So I'll say that.
So
Yeah.
like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Most movies nowadays are made from or copied from that. You know?
We're in the remake, the real bad remake
The
era.
remake era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're in.
Originality's dying slowly, but it's alright.
Yeah.
I think originally, I don't know, Peel, Peel.
Yeah.
Yeah, his stuff drawn.
Yeah, he's great.
He's done some
Yeah.
original feeling stuff.
Definitely. Like
So-
if you watch
His last one, he won an Academy Award
No, that's
for the
impressive.
first black guy that won an Academy Award.
yeah,
Get Out.
Forget Out.
Is it
Yeah.
good out?
I fell asleep.
Really?
It wasn't scary. It wasn't funny. I didn't.
I mean,
It was suspense. I guess.
suspenseful.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Okay.
It was like.
Guess
Just.
it's
It
there.
was just like. I'm
Yeah.
tapping on the table. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry for yours.
yeah.
The Twilight Zone. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to be speaking.
No, you're good. Yeah, this is why you're here.
But yeah, I mean, that's why, you know.
Okay, I see
Sorry.
what you're saying there.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
All right, let's continue on.
Yeah,
What
do
else
the-
have you got on that top 10? What-
My top 10 was Della Morte Delamore, or Cemetery Man.
that's
Yes,
a-
that movie's hilarious and weird.
I don't think I've seen that one.
that's what I
Neither
would
have I. I'm like, I need to
It's-
borrow
it's-
Madeline's
Yeah.
list.
Somebody else
Like,
borrowed
watch
it.
all.
Somebody else
Yeah.
borrowed it, and they never returned it. And we'll see
It
if
was
I ever get it
it was
back.
supposed to go to Leah, but
It's really hard
it
to
ended
find.
up somewhere else.
It's really hard to find.
You're not hooking Leah up at all.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
You need the-
If I can get
you've
my
got that-
coworker to give me my copy back.
The Rupert Everett. She needs the Rupert
Rupert
Everett.
Everett was in it. And it was Italian. It was weird. It was gory. It was hilariously funny, and ultimately just completely existential.
It's such a fine film. I thought I'd give Gene a copy of that, but that's one where he's digging the cemetery and like heads and zombies and shit like that. It's
Which
Italian.
one, Lord have mercy.
I don't know. Rupert Everett. I don't know. That's what I gotta say.
That's all you got.
So
What
dreamy.
year?
90s?
Late
90?
90s?
Late 90s? Maybe 96?
And you
94.
said the cemetery?
No. This
It
was...
was released in the United States as Cemetery.
Oh,
Man.
as cemetery man.
In Italian, it was Della Morte Delamore.
Della Morte Delamore.
I've got it on a flash drive if you want
Okay.
to see it, but
Yeah.
if you have that technology.
And now y'all are going to judge me because my next movie on this list is Event Horizon because that movie's good.
No, that movie's
That's not judgment.
That's a cool film.
that movie is like
That movie's fucking
It's
fun.
underratedly
It's
scary.
so scary.
Yeah, like it creates some suspense, man.
I had like
And I haven't seen
PTSD.
Yeah.
You've never seen Event Horizon, Gene.
Oh, dude.
Dude.
Hell in space.
It's like Morpheus and the Jurassic Park guy
Yeah.
coming together.
Essentially.
Yeah. It's like the Matrix
There's so
meets.
many Jurassic Park guys. We could be talking
Yeah.
about Jeff.
All right, Sam Neill,
It was Sam Neill.
the guy.
Yeah, Sam.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, that movie like scared the crap out of me when it was out in theaters. I couldn't watch it again. For
They
years.
basically they aboard this spaceship that had been lost in space forever, and it disappeared. Then it comes back, and then they go on board and start.
But it went into
Yeah.
a black hole.
Yeah.
That is it a new movie?
No.
It's from the 90s.
Well, they stole that from the Twilight Zone.
Well,
Did they go into
There's-
the black hole in Twilight Zone? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I've seen all the
yeah.
episodes
And
of
they
Twilight
said-
Zone.
It's like, say, well, in the Twilight Zone, if you see an airplane or something like that going overhead,
Oh,
maybe it's them.
You're talking about the disappearing plane, that time travel
Yeah.
one. That's not got anything to do with Event Horizon.
No, this is more like they went through a
It's
black
not.
hole and
This
were
is
in
space.
hell, and they
Yeah.
were
This is
like,
space. This is like Jason goes to
Cannibalistic
space.
orgy.
It's like that.
Oh,
It's like that.
Jason
But it's-
goes
but
to space.
Deception.
That's
It's a little less classy than Twilight Zone, but a lot more scary.
Okay, I'm not so
Ah,
ashamed that that movie terrified me now.
Everybody becomes a Cenobite. It's pretty impressive. I
Not
like it a lot.
everybody becomes. Yeah, more or less.
All right, well, that was a funny bit.
You were so into that
he's
bit
like,
too.
he's like,
I was
yeah, he's
mad,
like,
didn't I?
you're saying like the Twilight Zone?
Damn it, man.
Where's my airplane?
We'll watch them. Everybody
That's
in this
so
room
weird.
needs to watch them.
I think all of us have seen them. All right, continue on.
Because there was no black hole.
Return of the Living Dead.
Yes.
That's more of a comedy,
Hmm.
but
Yes.
I don't care because it's still going to be on my list.
I
still
think
gory as
it's
fuck.
I think it's creepy too. It's kind of creepy.
It's just
like, you know,
hilarious.
yeah, I mean, there's hilarious bits in it, but just the makeup and monsters are pretty creepy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Tar Man. Yeah,
it's just a classic. It's the
Lena Quigley.
yeah.
It's one of those movies I remember watching like on USA Up All Night and being like, oh, okay, this is really good. This
It's like
is just really cracking me up, and it's scary and it's stylish and got so many good one-liners.
It's got the cool zombies in it, brains. You know.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
ones that just say brains.
Yes.
yeah.
It's so when you're sitting there editing your list. It's like, shame on you.
So I did that when you said that other movie. We'll get there in a minute.
It'll keep happening too.
I can do that one now because Mike mentioned it to me. He was like, "Oh, I should put this on my list," and I was like, "Oh, that's on my list."
There's like so many that we could name that wasn't on anybody's list.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
so-
I'm sure.
Just because they don't question.
And they were classic, like yeah,
Right.
real classic ones.
But
you
the
know.
one that you mentioned that I put on my list immediately was Night of the Hunter.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That one escapes me too.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hit it.
What's his name?
Robert Mitchum.
Robert Mitchum is in it, and
A black and white classic.
it's a black and white
Oh,
movie.
okay.
It's from I don't know, the 1960s. Like the kids are trying to escape this crazy guy who's trying to kill them for some money that their father stole, and he was hanged in prison or something. He was. Anyway, it's really frightening. Lillian Gish was in it in her later years as this kind of matriarch character. It's just a really powerful, scary. It's not like it hasn't got a lot of violence. Most of the violence is off screen, but even like the scene where like that one. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen that.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it,
If you haven't seen
we're
Night of
here.
the Hunter,
I'll put a
you'll
note
watch Night
that's
of the
just
Hunter. It's a beautiful, very slow film
Yeah.
about children being terrified by this guy who pretends to be a preacher so he can
Oh.
steal money that was already stolen.
Yeah.
It's real life.
It's not the Vampire Hunter.
It's a tale of a left hand, right hand. A tale of love and hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, it's creepy. The entire movie, he's stalking them,
Uh-huh.
Talking to
these
little kids.
children.
and they're just
Children.
essentially homeless because
Wow.
it's like they're like their mom gets killed by the guy. Spoiler, deal with it. Yeah, it is amazing. There's this awesome underwater scene.
Yeah.
They had the damn film underwater.
Yeah.
She's just looking amazing.
The film.
Oh, it's an epically great film.
I'm gonna have to watch that now.
Okay.
Super creepy.
Yeah, it's
The
great.
Hunter?
And that scene, Night of the Hunter.
Night of the Hunter.
Night of the Hunter. Okay.
Yeah.
That scene where Lillian Gish is singing, and she's singing that gospel song. the Everlasting Arm,
Yeah.
and he's singing it in the background. Oh gosh, because that was his like creepy song that he would sing because he was pretending to be a preacher, leaning on the everlasting arm. Everybody knows that song, right?
Yeah. He had like
yeah, you do.
he had like love and hate
Do I?
tattooed on his knuckles.
Oh.
I'm
And he
not
would-
gonna sing on your podcast.
Yeah, and he would
Sing
just
No, we want.
Yeah,
I want
Yeah, you might as well sing it
sing
while-
Might as
You
well,
have to
yeah.
do it.
because I'm just gonna murder C double it and freaking.
No.
If you
The
don't
song
do
that they
it,
were
we're all
singing
gonna be
is, let me
mad.
think of the damn lyrics here. Hold on.
You have to write them down.
Yeah, come back to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Just continue.
Lean on the everlasting arm. Lean on Jesus.
Oh wow, that's
And secure from all harm. Lean on Jesus. Lean on Jesus. Lean on the everlasting arm. Anyway, she's singing
That's
it
awesome.
in this way where she's so strong and she's protective of these children,
Mhm.
and he's singing like with his baritone voice because Robert Mitchum, and to be like fucking creepy and
he's singing the
imposing,
same
and
song?
They're both
that sounded
Dude.
like I can hear that
like,
in my head.
it makes
like,
your damn
It-
freaking
Yeah, it
hair
makes-
on your arm
well,
creep.
Yeah,
Well, see, when she was singing it, then it made me like feel like it sounded creepy. Like
Oh, yeah,
if I was
it's-
thinking of it in terms of horror,
yeah.
just hearing somebody
And
that's
this girl
coming
lady
after
sitting
you.
there in her rocking chair with her shotgun waiting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just that. Yeah, there's something kind of terrifying.
Oh yeah, that movie is.
It's got that.
I gotta watch that.
It's got some good
I
old
gotta-
Southern vibe on that. It's some good stuff.
I gotta go bookmark that one right now.
Well, you're already in the South, so there you
Night of the Hunter.
Yeah, amazing film. All right, what else we got?
All right, let the right one in.
Oh,
Let the right one. I'm drawing a blank.
is that the vampire?
Swedish vampire movie.
Yeah.
With the girl and the little boy who's getting bullied at school.
Yep.
I just thought that was a really well made vampire movie. Of all the vampire movies, at the same time, what Twilight was getting wrong. I think
go.
that movie
Twilight got it all
was
wrong.
getting right. It was about
Yeah,
like
that's
these
it exactly.
preteen,
Yeah.
kids and the.
They don't sparkle, goddamn
They didn't sparkle. They didn't do
Yeah.
that.
it. Yeah.
And it was just also just as a kind of coming of age story. It was truer to that age for me.
Okay.
It wasn't romantic. It was horrific, but it was also like you go through so much pain and the bullying that they brought up and what the girl was going through, the vampire girl, her relationship with her caregiver, and just the whole thing. It was just really beautiful done. Also black and white. I wish I loved black and white on this
They
list.
did a remake of that one too.
They made an American
Yeah,
version. I didn't
yeah.
watch it.
Yeah, I think.
I
wasn't-
can't bring myself to
Yeah.
watch a lot of remakes.
But now you're not a fan.
Well, I mean,
You gotta
yeah.
watch the remake.
Sometimes you gotta
Like
watch
the
a
first.
Sometimes I
horrible-
can't.
Yeah, a horrible remake. I know it's
No,
not necessary sometimes,
I
but
won't do it. And I think
Sometimes
that
it's
several of the films on my list have been remade, and I have not watched the remake.
Yeah.
So I will not
I will watch a remake. It's sad. It's like, all right, let's see how they did, and then it's like, no, that was
Yeah.
goddamn awful. It's
oh,
terrible.
yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
see, to be fair, like the Nightmare or not Nightmare, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Like I thought it was really good.
There's like 8 of them.
No, the first
Great.
one, the first remake, like the one that was done back in the early 2000s. I thought it was done
Hell yeah.
really
The
well
one with the
William Reed.
with what's her name?
Matthew McConaughey.
No, not that. That one was cool. I like that one too. Nobody else likes it, but I like that one.
I liked Matthew McConaughey in Frailty. That was a really
Oh my god.
Frailty was
I
good.
remember that one. That
Maybe-
was a great one.
But
right.
It wasn't even in one, man.
That was a good horror movie about McConaughey.
yeah,
Gets
Frailty.
props for
Oh
that.
yeah, Frailty's really one of those psychological.
And even your guy,
Bill
Bill
Paxton.
Paxton.
Bill
Bill
Paxton.
Paxton.
Rest
Yeah,
in peace.
your guy. You know when I go your
Feels.
guy, I'm talking about Bill Paxton.
Have you seen Frailty, Mike?
Yeah.
Have you seen Frailty, Gene?
Nah.
Oh,
So
man.
like Bill Paxton plays this father of two boys, and one day like he comes home from work and says that God visited him at work, like, and showed him a vision, and he wanted him to work for him and go out and start killing demons for him.
Mm-hmm.
And
So he had a
so
list.
yeah, he gave him a list of names, and he tells his sons that
It's
he
like
has
supernatural gone wrong.
he has to go destroy these demons. So he starts kidnapping people out of their homes and taking them and killing them with an axe.
Because
there's
Sounds
always
like that.
a time where nobody will notice when they go missing.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
That was
Yeah.
probably the freakiest part of
Yeah,
the movie
it's-
for me.
Because
that movie freaked me out.
he was as they was kidnapping, he's like, somebody's gonna see this. He's like, no, God will make sure that nobody sees it. Like, he kept telling them and reassuring them that it wouldn't happen, and nobody ever sees them. Like, they never get caught doing these things.
Well, it
Everybody
sounds
just
like
happens to look away. Security cameras
Yeah,
just happen to go on the blink like it's bananas.
Yeah.
there you go.
So
like
you
the
gotta watch
security
out.
cameras have that, like they review the tape and there's a single white fuzzy
Strip.
line right through their face as they run.
It was
walk
like
through.
they were censored out.
Yeah, it was
It
insane.
was pretty good. Matthew McConaughey's in that too.
Nah,
He is.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
yeah.
that's cool.
so give him credit for that. That was off topic. That wasn't on my list.
That's a good.
It's just because you brought up
But
Texas
check
Chainsaw
this out. It
Massacre,
sounds
right?
like a
Yeah.
movie. It sounds like Amityville Horror. That he didn't kill his kids and just let everybody else let his kids kill everybody.
Yeah, but eventually, like, one of his boys thinks that he's doing wrong, so and then it goes from there. So
Yeah, put that on your list. But
Yeah,
bookmark that in
Frailty.
your mind. Frailty.
Frailty, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. All right, what else you got?
Bride of Frankenstein.
Great
Yeah,
film.
yeah.
Oh, that one's on my
Boris
list.
Karloff?
Yeah, that one's on my list.
Yeah, is it? Was it?
I think it is. Yeah.
It's so. It's a classic. It's beautiful. It's got all those human issues
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that we have, and enough said.
It's classic. Yeah. It doesn't need much. It's
No,
amazing.
no. That's the one. Well, see, honestly, that's one I've never seen either. So.
Oh, no kidding.
Really?
No, I need
We
to
got
watch
that.
that. Yeah. So.
You give us a minute.
You got like a this at you freaking walleye.
You gotta
son of a
wait
bitch.
till my list is up.
Yeah.
The Shining.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
It was on some. It was on
Yeah,
your
that's
list.
on everybody's list.
Yeah.
I think.
It-
Not
it-
mine.
It
No,
wasn't.
you
I
didn't like it?
despise the
You
Shining.
so like.
It's
Oh,
just-
yeah.
that's
it's
good.
The
Yeah.
for one thing, I like Stanley Kubrick.
It's
I
not
like
on
I like
top
his
five for me,
style, and that film. I mean, it's a story about child abuse, and I just thought it was
Recorded.
like just that they took a story about child abuse and made it into a horror film that didn't have anything to do about child abuse, but it was obvious that was what they were talking about.
Yep.
True.
It was obvious, and then all the supernatural stuff is cool too, but
And that
they
was
they made it so obvious and yet so subtle. And
the
it's like
supernatural part.
the child abuse.
The child abuse part. Yeah. It was very subtle, but
But yeah, we all know that that's what it was about. I mean, at the heart of it was so that movie has a special, I don't know, special quality to it.
was it
Okay.
like scary?
Was it scary?
Did you think
scary?
it was scary? Like, did
Did
it
I think
terrify
was-
you?
No.
No.
None,
Bad
nothing
dreams or
was
nothing
terrible.
like that? Yeah, it didn't.
Outside of Event Horizon
Mm.
and
Okay.
Frailty. Now that I mentioned it.
Okay.
Mm.
It isn't necessarily a movie that terrifies me that I consider one of my favorite movies. I don't particularly like being terrified.
Oh, that's fair.
But I like thought-provoking movies.
Sure.
So you'll probably see a lot of that here. I also like really funny movies, but I left a lot of them off this list because I thought we can have a separate list for movies that are horror comedy.
I don't know. Probably in the future.
Probably.
Gene wants to do a whole segment on that. We're eventually working on that.
All right. Now, if anybody wants to judge whether or not this is a horror movie, I say it is. Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a horror movie.
Interesting.
It's got that gore. It's got that gore and shock factor that makes you just
I mean, it's
squeeze.
got monsters in it.
And
It's
it does
got
have
monsters.
monsters.
It's got human monsters who are worse than the real monsters in some cases.
Yeah.
It's beautifully filmed. The effects are beautiful. The whole story is just moving.
It's a fairy tale. Like
But you know, the
it's
Grimm
Alice
brothers
in
wrote a lot of
Wonderland.
fairy tales that were pretty horrific.
Right. It's like Alice in Wonderland, like in a effed up world, like in some sort of weird.
Nazi
Yes,
Germany.
and
In Nazi Germany.
Yes,
Yes.
Alice in Nazi Germany.
Alice in Nazi Germany.
Yeah, or Nazi, wherever they were.
Austria.
Yeah.
Where were
Which
they?
is, I think it's like, it was somewhere like that.
Somewhere in
Yeah.
Spain or something.
Spain. Could have been Spain.
Yeah, because they were speaking Spanish.
Because they were Spanish.
Any ideas on that one, Leah?
What?
Pamphlet.
Yeah.
I can't watch it.
Can't watch it. Too painful. Oh, the eyeballs.
Mm.
The eyeballs in the hands.
That thing was pretty.
Let it put zombie
It's one of the
on
great.
my
Guillermo del Toro.
You can't watch eyeballs on the hand.
I can't watch stuff with eyeballs.
Wait,
Really?
so wait.
Oh,
what?
you got to
Wait.
watch the one thing, the awesome freaking School of Particular Children or Peculiar Children.
Oh my god, that movie was really hard to get through.
Yeah, she didn't know going
Peregrine
in.
School
Oh.
for Peculiar Children
I've
was
seen
I
that.
didn't
Really
watch
difficult.
all
That
the
was fun.
movie. I read the book.
What's a good one for you, Leah?
No,
She's got a whole
wait,
list.
she's got a whole list. She's got a whole list. All right, let's hop through this. What you got? Gene wants a cigarette.
That was 10.
That lazy bastard.
That was
That
10.
was
That's all you
10.
get out of me.
I mean,
Don't make me hit
I mean,
the
it was
table.
11 because you
Fucking-
You've hit the table.
I'll edit you out. You're expendable,
You
Mr.
got
Fishing Boy.
Matthew McConaughey. It was either
Right.
Frailty or Dazed and Confused.
that's, wow.
Oh.
So,
That's a horror
what format are we on?
Mm.
As long as it's Matthew McConaughey.
As long as
This is
exactly.
McConaughey.
With a
Oh,
good
I'm not
marriage.
gonna say. What was that one he did about in the South?
Aren't they all?
They seem-
Yeah, he's
Time
pretty
to Kill.
southern.
That Time to
Southernish.
Kill. That's practically.
Have you
a
seen
horror
that
movie.
one that Killer Joe?
And that movie was very effective.
What?
Too.
Killer Joe, like it's Matthew
Oof.
McConaughey. He's like a Texas
No,
killer.
I've not seen that.
Yeah, he's like, but he's a nice guy. But he
In the
kills.
South. Thank you.
Mm.
Horrible.
All right, let's take a pause here and can Gene go suck something?
Yeah.
And then Leah can get set up for her segment.
Oh boy.
Yay! Now we have returned to the Chainsaw Bar. Next up, we're gonna hit Leah's damn top 10 and see what she has to say.
Okay.
It's all yours.
The first one that I thought of to write down, these are in no order of any kind that I can think of. Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh.
I'm not actually a big fan of vampire movies, I think. I say that, but usually I turn out to be. But that one is definitely the best out of all the vampire movies for me.
Vampire in Brooklyn?
Lost
Yes.
That was hilarious. Lost Boys is on here as an honorable mention.
That was definitely kind of on my backup list.
Mm.
So good.
Devil's Rejects. And
It's great.
That's not a vampire movie.
no, I'm just reading.
Oh, she's on to the next one.
Oh,
I was like, are they vampires? Who be there?
They might be. They like blood.
Here, run your face in this.
Fist bump at first.
No.
Awful. All right, let's continue on there, freaking werebear.
Damn lesbian seagull.
The original Halloween.
Poor pie.
Original Halloween.
Yeah, that one's.
Yeah, it's hard to really. That's a great one.
Lake Placid. I don't know if most people would consider that a horror movie, but
Old ladies feeding alligators. It's always fun.
It's a horror movie.
That's creepy, yeah.
I don't watch it for the horror aspect. It's actually like a comfort movie for me. Like if I
Comfort?
if I need something that makes me feel warm and fuzzy, I watch Lake Placid.
That's horrible.
Explain that.
That doesn't seem like a horror movie then. That seems like that's just more like
Yeah,
you're sitting at home watching like
Some of us
the
watch horror for comfort.
that's true.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's almost.
Yeah, like I'll watch The Devil's Rejects, like if I want to just have a pick me up.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's not even a lie. Like every time I see it, I get in a better mood. Like I just,
Exactly.
you know,
It's the same with me
yeah,
with like plastic.
I get what you're saying. No,
Let's take a moment of silence of Captain Spaulding.
And there we go.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
That's another.
That's fair.
Um,
Yeah, I guess I don't know, it's almost like your Hallmark channel. Then that's kind of just.
Yeah.
Hallmark.
That's
horror.
it.
Your Hallmark.
Like horror
There is
movies.
Hallmark
There are
horror.
definitely those movies.
I think that's another one we gotta do. Like, what movie gives you that takes you to that place? You know?
That happy place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that we
a
know.
horror movie. Yeah.
Like Placid. That's
Something
kind of
like
good one.
that.
What year was that roughly?
Oh my god,
Night,
I remember
Night
that
Breed?
in like mid 90s, early 90s.
Because I remember seeing it in theaters, but yeah, it was like, oh, nice.
I've never actually watched it all the way through. Like I you know, because I never watched it in theaters. I've just seen bits and pieces of it on TV. I've never actually sat and watched the full length movie. Not because of any reason particular. It's just that I'd catch it. I'd start watching it when it's on TV, then it goes in commercial, and then I'll turn it and watch something else. But maybe I just need to sit down and watch it and see what you might be talking about.
It's fine. It's a fun one.
Yeah.
Well, damn it, man.
Pet Sematary,
Yes.
the original, not the remake.
Well.
There
Sure.
is one remake on my list, and that is It.
The remake of It.
Yes, the
It did
the
justice.
first one, not the second chapter. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
The second chapter remake wasn't as good as the first chapter, like of the remake. You know?
Yeah, the ending
I
was
agree.
corny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the kids being like the way they told the Loser Club story, like was really
yeah,
really refreshing and good.
Yeah, whenever you have somebody who writes kids well and people are portrayed.
It's like watching the Goonies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really like
Or-
watching
Oh, there you go.
a modern era. of
Got the Goonies t-shirt.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or the same reason that Stranger Things draws people in.
Yeah. Just
It's
fun.
well written children.
There's a lot of cool. It reminds you of your own childhood, you know, like when you're growing up and stuff. So
Yeah, it's
you
good
and your
stuff.
friends would band together against anything, like growing up, you know,
Right.
in your group. And then as you get old, it tells that too. Like as you get older, you know, you just become less close to each other
Yeah.
and separate, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
and then I've got The Evil Dead.
Nice.
Classic.
First one, second one.
Which or the remake.
Or the remake.
Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2.
Or Evil Dead,
The
the remake.
first one.
Honestly,
I
they sort of
like-
bleed together.
Like,
Yeah,
they did for me.
They technically
Honestly.
like
the
even
same
the second
movie.
was supposed to be the remake originally.
Let's fist bump on that one.
And I don't know if this one's considered.
That's
a
how
horror
you
movie
play,
either,
man. You're a fist bump, man.
But Predator.
Predator, yeah.
I love Predator.
I've had people argue and say Predator is not horror,
It's more sci-fi.
Yeah,
and
but-
I agree.
but I also said like
But
I defended it because people are getting killed and there's blood and gore. It's like that's horrific to some people. Like that's not
Yeah.
your horror,
Just
but it's
because
somebody's horror. You know, like
Just because
Yeah,
it's sci-fi supernatural and not some other sort of supernatural
Yeah.
doesn't mean it isn't horrific.
right.
I mean, it doesn't make it less legitimate than, say, demonic possession.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Or
skins
zombies or
things
whatever.
after
Yeah.
he kills
That
them,
movie's
tears
scary
their
as shit.
spines out. You know, so I thought it was pretty horrible.
I would also
Horror.
consider that it's an action.
Yes. I'm a sucker for action movies.
I know, right?
So-
Yeah, it's
So
called the Hallmark
compelling.
action characters on it, so yeah.
It's like
But, yeah, you can cross these boundaries.
yeah, I think
There's an invisible monster chasing you. I could see that.
That
Yeah.
is
It's a
scary.
monster. It's still a monster.
You can't see it. Yeah, it's definitely scary. I was scared.
I mean, he had those big, nasty dudes
Yeah.
terrified.
Yeah,
so.
An invisible serial killer chasing you through the jungle. You're still gonna be scared as shit.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as you find out it's there, it's like, oh damn.
Because he wanted your skull.
Yeah, that I can respect.
He killed Apollo Creed. He killed the governor, Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did a great job. He killed him, Billy.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
Man.
It's like a Misfit song.
He couldn't
I
kill the
want your
Terminator.
skull. That was, they should have put that in there.
It was,
Well,
I don't think they could use skulls.
I
don't
want
think
your
it
skull.
All right, what else you got on there?
Candyman.
Oh, yeah, that
like-
almost made my list. 'cause
Urban Legend,
Yeah.
Tony fucking Todd.
It's one of my,
Yeah.
that's probably my favorite
Nice.
slasher movie. And I'm not a big fan of the slasher genre, but that movie had a lot of heart and soul.
I really
And
did.
the story behind it, and then obviously his performance, and he was so compelling.
Yeah, that's good.
Candyman.
They're supposed to be remaking Candyman.
No,
They better not.
They are. I mean, like we said, this is
Lord help me.
they're
It's-
there.
It's in the tube
It's-
somewhere.
yeah,
I've seen it
They already made
somewhere.
like 2 sequels?
Yeah, and they were
Yeah.
not. Good.
Not
But-
so great, but
No.
The Candyman can.
Oh god.
Just
No.
All right, that's not related. All right,
Yeah.
yeah, Candyman's a great
Hellraiser.
Tony Todd. Oh.
yeah,
That man's busy, though. He stays
Hellraiser.
busy.
Why Hellraiser?
He's always at his
Hellraiser?
cons and stuff.
He's always at the cons.
Did you
He
say-
Yeah, Hellraiser's my last on the list besides the honorable mentions. But I just really love Hellraiser.
Yeah.
I rewatched
It's
that.
so funny.
It's
We watched
so
we
good.
discussed that on like the first podcast. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so
It's so corny.
Well, it's funny,
But
like-
a lot of horror movies are corny.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're good anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, it's like even in that, Pinhead isn't even the scary part about
Yeah,
it.
no, he
It's the
isn't.
Frank character that
Yeah,
escaped
yeah.
from hell.
yeah, it's,
Mhm.
Eating
it's,
people.
it's the sadist.
yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of.
That's actually scary.
Yeah.
Not Pinhead and Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Which is Pinhead has such a minuscule role in the first Hellraiser.
The situation escapes hell, and then
And
he's
it-
raging,
yeah, there
raging against the grave there.
Sure.
Ugh.
Why don't
Sure.
you just do a Jersey Shore podcast?
No, it's all.
No, that's next Halloween.
That's next time.
Or like periodic little
Yeah.
updates here and there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be erotic.
Whoa!
Whoa!
This has officially been canned entirely.
Yeah.
This project's
Yeah.
canned. Jersey Shore Dracula is now canned. No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Clayton already talked about it.
Oh.
You and I got nothing for that. All right, what were your honorable mentions then? I suppose since you.
Leprechaun.
Great, awesome.
Yeah.
It's also super cheesy.
It's
but
very
It's
cheesy.
awesome.
Well,
It stayed with me. Like, I say bless you to people when they sneeze, just so that the leprechaun can't get them.
Now I'm not going to complain.
But I thought it was the funniest part about that is like, in order they would stop him in his tracks because they threw dirty shoes in the floor and he has to stop and clean them.
This is like so Irish people. Then. This is
Yeah.
how we are with our damn superstitions.
Yeah.
But that is scary as hell because, I mean, he's like, I just told him that part of you.
That performance was scary as hell.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, what is your wish? And
Yeah.
then you fucked up.
I mean, when he started battling Ice-T with Ice-T, I don't know. Yeah, kind of weird.
Leprechaun in the Hood, was
Then
it?
he went to space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he went to
I honestly
space.
haven't seen most of the leprechauns.
I saw up until In Space, and then when Leprechaun in the Hood came out, I was like, I can't.
I love the title, but
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
How about
put myself
Tales
through
from
it.
the Hood? Now that was
That was
good.
actually
That was
scary.
good.
That
Yeah.
was good.
That was great. That was awesome.
All right, was there any
The Lost Boys and Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah,
Freddy vs. Jason, the classic?
I like that. I mean, a lot of people didn't, but I think it goes in there.
I
Yeah.
love slasher movies, and I love all the Nightmare on Elm Streets, and I love all the Friday the 13th,
Mhm.
and that put them together, so it
Oh,
just
it
sort
was-
of all encompassed it for me.
It was an
so.
epic battle. Like, I thought that movie was amazing.
That was your genre.
Robert
He was
Englund's
like,
last portrayal as Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
So,
He's like,
Like,
damn it.
the biggest complaint I ever heard about that entire movie was everybody I knew was mad that the whole crying in the rain scene, but it's all the whole drowning child kind of mentality breaking him down.
yeah.
That scene was the scene that broke. Like, most people are like, I'm done with this film. This is bull.
Whenever Jason's getting drowned.
Yeah, when he's getting drowned as a little
Yeah.
kid. That was
I
the
mean-
scene that kind of broke for people because they couldn't see, like, the psychological factor on it. Because at that point, it's like, he is getting psychological anything
Yeah.
now. Should.
Yeah.
But I guess he still does.
I mean, that's why he got him, like, because he took him back to his childhood and
And that's where he
was
was
making him pay with it. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
His thing for his children.
That's it. I watch that one every time it's on too.
Yeah.
Like every time it's on TV, I'll sit there and watch it if it catches me. So I can't help it.
Right.
Very nice. All right. That's good. That is our new co-host this week. She's got some additional things. What have we got there, Madeline?
My honorable mentions. I was going to put Lost Boys on my list and Evil Dead. And also that Korean movie, The Host, was amazing for a monster movie.
Yep, that was on my top 10. It was a fine
And
film.
no, seriously, just amazing monster movie. And
It's another one. I got
Scream Blackula Scream. We were talking about this when we were on our break. That was one of my favorite like blaxploitation horror movies. I didn't like Blackula, the original, as much as I like Scream Blackula Scream, and it's probably because I like Pam Grier a lot. Fantastic.
I haven't seen those movies either.
No,
Really?
no.
Yeah, no,
The Blackula
I've
movies?
seen Vampire in Brooklyn, but I've not seen Black.
This predates
Completely.
that.
I mean, I know that,
Yeah,
but I
but-
mean, I've seen Vampire in Brooklyn.
It was just a decade, and it was.
I'm not
like-
saying they're the same. I'm just saying I've seen that,
Right.
but I've not seen Black.
It's voodoo and stuff, but it was just Pam Grier kicked so much ass in that movie. I love her.
I love her too.
She's just honestly, I love a movie with a real strong female character in it that's kicking ass and like fuck you, Blackula.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead. I've got some questions with a different perspective. The female perspective, I guess we'll just go with that. Because that was kind of what I was hoping with this episode a little bit, since we got like a
We are
female
back
co-host.
in this
So I'm going to pop out this question and see what you both have ideas on it. And if you two got anything, whatever. But you two, what are your biggest takeaways of females in actual horror movies?
That's a big question.
It is a big question.
They tend to be either tits and ass or the final girl.
Yeah.
They don't. They're usually one or the other.
Or they're either boom victim or boom hero in this kind of what, and there's nothing in between. There's no like character development. It's either like you're the victim or look, we're making a woman a badass hero. Look at us being progressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And that's, or sometimes there's some shades of gray there, but sometimes, and by shades of gray I mean both. But yeah, that's how that usually rolls in film.
Yeah.
It's just kind of annoying.
You got anything on that, Jim? Just burping. You got anything going on that? Because it's.
I mean, yeah, that's usually about it. Like, you know, what exactly the way they put it. They're either the sexy girl or they're the victim. You know, they're rarely the hero. Which some of them a lot of times could be the hero, but then they kill him anyway. And you know, it's just there's not a lot of portrayal of. You know, they like to portray the women as being weak, like in a lot of the movies, the older movies.
Well,
and
I mean,
stuff like
and
that.
there's you know, like a factual basis for that. Like, just statistically, women are victimized a lot, and I think that's why women victims are affecting for a female audience. But also because we don't want to be that. Like, when the women are empowered in horror films, really relate to those characters.
And that's why I like seeing...
Like Aliens or Terminator.
And that's why you like to see that whenever it switches it around, like whenever they're the ones that are, you know, on top of things and getting it done.
The hero.
Yeah, they become the heroes. That's better. Like
aliens.
Yeah, like in Aliens. Or like in Death Proof. You know,
Yeah, Death Proof.
Death Proof,
And
definitely.
Death Proof, which is a really
Yeah.
difficult film to watch.
Yeah.
Actually, as a woman, it's real rapey and it's real. And obviously, like, no, I wasn't thinking of Death Proof. It was the other Planet Terror.
Planet Terror.
You know, Rose McGowan's character is obviously very sexualized too.
Yeah.
But and in Death Proof also, those women were very sexualized. But it was ultimately, of course, those films were directed by men.
Yeah.
So.
But
That's the way that they see a female heroine. And then you have films that are directed by women, horror films, and yeah, it happens. I mean, American Psycho was directed by a woman.
American Mary.
Huh?
American Mary, like the Soska sisters are doing.
Female directed horror movie? Anybody think of one? American Psycho came to mind, even though Bret Easton Ellis is obviously a misogynist piece of shit.
Yeah.
No, he is. God, I had another one on my mind that was directed by a woman. Can't think of it now. But that was, and it was still like, I mean, obviously the villain was the villain, and the villain was the man, and the man was a horrible misogynistic character. And the book was written by a horrible misogynist. So maybe she had all that in mind when she directed, or maybe she just liked his books and his writing. I don't.
Yeah. The Babadook was directed
The
by a woman.
Babadook was, yes,
Yeah,
that was directed by a woman.
Just like looking through your list here. A girl walks home alone at night.
Mm-hmm.
Which I didn't watch.
I have not seen that
really
one.
rapey.
It's supposed to be good.
The Slumber Party Massacre.
Oddly enough.
Why not?
Yeah.
Mm.
Jennifer's Body. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a horrible movie.
I mean, it was a different movie. Kind
Even
of
another movie that I'm trying to think of another movie
Possession.
that I liked. I liked American Psycho for the record.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like the author of the book.
No, I didn't watch that whole movie. I turned that off.
Really? It was good. It was just cringy.
There's a 2017 horror movie called Revenge, directed by a woman.
It was just some like remake of I Spit on Your Grave or something.
Possibly. Probably.
We just read the title.
Yeah. All right, so let me ask this question then. Are you a fan of I put down Last Woman Girl, but she nailed it
Final
with
Girl.
the final girl mentality that a lot of modern films have incorporated, or do you feel it's overdone now?
What's that?
The final girl concept where it's always a female at the end that turned out to be the badass hero and everything like that. Is it overdone? Just because it's a trope doesn't mean that it's not a good trope, and considering the way the world is right now, I don't think we could have enough final girls.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
That sounds like.
We need a little bit more of the final girl.
I mean, if there was more than one by the end of the movie, that would be even more impressive.
Right? Final girls.
Yeah, final girl. Like in Death Proof.
Yeah.
There was a group of final girls
Yeah, that was good.
killing the monster. I'll say monster.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty much
He
monster.
was pretty monstrous.
he was pretty awful. Ew. That scene with the foot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Creepy.
That's I will never stick my foot out of a car again. Of all the scenes, that's the one.
Yeah,
that
that's.
got
I
to
mean,
me.
it's not. It's uncomfortable. Like to see it happen. Like it's weird. Just some-
Oh, it hurt.